How do you see the sustainability piece tying into new technologies?
Well, I want to say that I'm not just interested in sustainability.
Hmm.
There's a lot of things that we tolerate in our society that we really shouldn't tolerate. Whether it's the obesity epidemic, or if it's exploitative financial services industries. There's a lot of things that we take for granted that have been not really geared to serve society as much as they've been geared to serve the shareholders,
Right.
and sort of this short-term profit-seeking behavior that we've seen, and kind of the nascent components of that, and how it's affected us in a negative way. I think that we are at a place in time where people are open-minded about change and innovation, and I think that there's a lot of opportunity to think about the fundamental things that we face challenges with, and say, if I were going to start a bank, and this is a strange thing, and I won't get too deep into this, but if I were to start a bank, how would I think about banking differently? Is there a way that we could create banking products and solutions for people who are on the margins so they can get out of the margins and the bank can make money on them? As opposed to how do they just feed them to death and they never get out of
Right.
the margins? They just are. At
Stuck.
the end of the day,
Right.
they're stuck,
Yeah.
and they cost society more money. So how do we find ways to use business to be more responsive to the needs of people, not necessarily ignoring the profit potential? I mean, there's plenty of money to be made
Sure.
in outdoor advertising. When it comes to our refill stations, for instance, there's plenty of money to be made in consumer packaged goods. But it's how do we create that value case? And so to answer the question, how do we think about sustainability and technology? Well, for one, in my business, we're thinking about how do we build more optimized websites that take less compute power. That is something that you can do, and it turns out when you do it, your site's faster and it provides a better user experience, and that ends up driving
Sure.
your placement and search results up. So you get more traffic, you get more conversions, and it's good for your business. We have the ability to reframe the narrative to show people how making the right decisions can have both short and long-term positive impacts
Right.
for everybody. And that's the way that I think about all of this. And sustainability is just one component. I mean, I don't know if you were looking at the headlines, but they're seeing these just absolutely stunning record temperatures out in Arizona and Nevada, and people are dying, and it's not going to get better. These solutions that we're implementing now are not going to have a short-term impact on the problem. We do need to make sure we can provide hydration for people when it's really hot outside, so that we can abate the issue.
Sure.
But we have a huge responsibility right now, and I suspect we'll talk a little bit about AI today. We have to raise the flag on the energy consumption of AI. I mean, we can go back and talk about social media even. I mean, I read the other day that putting one reel on Instagram is like turning on a light forever. The amount of energy that it consumes to store and allow it to stream anytime
To
it
use
comes
that,
up in
yeah.
somebody's feed. And I imagine some videos, some viral videos, are like turning on a warehouse full of lights. So we talk about like sustainability and travel sometimes, my wife and I, and I'm like, I don't want people to stop doing their life in order to save the planet. People need to have the ability to kind of enjoy themselves.
Sure.
But as a society, we can think about,
Are there better ways to do it?
are there better ways
Yeah.
to do it? Are there ways
Yeah.
that we can kind of change the systems, in a global sense, so that we can do it more efficiently?
Well, I think that's
And-
where your businesses, where they align, right? Like your digital marketing side of what you're doing is trying to find the best new technologies to make those as beneficial and as streamlined and as sustainable as possible. And then you've got the Richmond Water that is doing the exact same thing, but with water and now allowing access to hydration, right? And no waste.
And it's not far removed from the world of marketing either.
Sure.
It's, if you kind of think, the fun thing about it is if you think about kind of the model of Google, it's give people the information for free and charge the business for the ad that sponsors that. It's the exact same thing with the refill station. There are a lot of things that we can think about in society, service points where people have needs that could be given to them for free, supported by brands that have an interest in aligning with consumers around those things. So, and that's just one model of innovation. I think that there are many others that we could look at. And I like solving hard problems with complex solutions. It's something that I find to be enjoyable because I think a lot of people think that something's hard, it's impossible. And to me, it's just the challenge of figuring
Right.
that out.